Most of us are looking to find efficiencies and ways to get better. And I have some time-tested, expert-approved, absolute ways to make it better. Now, that's a tease. I'm Chris Cuomo. Welcome to this episode of the Chris Cuomo Project, Cuomo on the Couch. As you can see, I'm not that creative, but I can take what's in the world around us and make it relatable and hopefully useful to you. Thank you for subscribing and following, checking out the free agent merch, and checking me out on newsnation. Appreciate that. Every night during the week, 8 and 11 p. Eastern. Very cool for you to go there. Love the comments and questions. That's why we keep taking them on. Now, how do we get better? How do we balance? There's so much self-help out there. There's so much corporate indexing of help out there to read, so many different rules and ways and gimmicks. But I have gone through most of it, and I am an efficiency freak. I believe in it. I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm saying I believe in it, and I believe there are better ways, and I believe there are routines and there are programs. Now, some people don't need this. You have the self-discipline and you have the ability to just find your way, or you're just really good at regimentation and routine, which is an awesome advantage. Routine is huge. Now, how about for the rest of us? Okay, we have to adapt and we have to find ways that help us when we get in our own way. Sound familiar? Does to me. I am the captain of 2 steps forward, half step back. And that's being generous to myself. I know the song, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But I think that's a little bit too critical. Look, I've recently lost 25 pounds because I wanted to. I had gained 10 pounds of really good muscle working out with a buddy of mine on his plan. Too big. It was too much work. It was too hard. Wanted to lose the weight. And it's proven fairly difficult. I've done it, and I'm not taking Ozempic. I'm not telling you not to take it. I don't believe in shortcuts like that. I believe that, for one, I fear the unknown of medicine, but two, when you go off it, and I'm going to go off it, I'm not going to stay on this thing giving myself needles for the rest of my life. Then what happens? But I do like to change it up, and I do like to find ways that work, and I have them for you today. Rule number 1. Now, the first couple of these are not mine, but they are so true. And I've looked into the psychology behind them, the behavioral science behind them, and they matter. Rule number 1, you ready? Never hit snooze. Never hit snooze. Why? Because it is immediately and first thing in the morning, okay? The primacy of your planning for the day, the first thing, the inception, is delay, is to not do, is to stall. Terrible message. And that is the message you're giving yourself. And we know what happens when you hit snooze. Either if you're so out of it that like you're just dead and you hear it again like a second later, or you're sitting in bed with your eyes closed just saying, I just want to sit here for a second. You know you're delaying. Never hit snooze. Embrace the suck. Get up, because everything you're doing is signaling how you're going to approach the day. Get up out of bed, go pee, do your morning routine, start going, because that's what's going to build your momentum. Hitting snooze is the opposite of that. You are literally, with the first action of your day, setting yourself up for inaction and disappointment. It is true, psychologically, behaviorally, and anecdotally in my own life, and therefore I would say empirically, because I've lived it that way and I know I do less. And I can't tell you how many mornings I've had where I've been like, oh, damn, I delayed. I didn't really want to go to work out, and then now it's 10 o'clock, and now the calls are coming, and this and that, and that. Right? Familiar, right? Okay. Number 2, when you wake up in the morning, make your bed. I don't care how many staff you have or whether you've got a wife or a husband or a partner or whatever who loves to make the beds. Make your bed. Why? Two reasons. And again, this isn't mine. There's actually some, I think, general who made this famous in a commencement speech or something, but it wasn't his idea either. But from a psychological behavioral science perspective, you're checking a box right away, doing something that may also feed your right way, messy bed, metaphor, messy life, messy bed. Two, getting something done. Little things lead to big things. It's true. Thoughts lead to things. They become ideas, they become realities, and little things become big things. Make your bed. Do something the right way, right away. Do something the right way, right away, and it will be a catalyst, okay? Now, this one is mine. I certainly didn't create it, but it really works. Make lists. Lists for today, lists for others, lists for fitness, lists for finances, lists for long-term, medium-term, short-term, lists of things you're disappointed by. Make lists. Why? Because the exercise of manifesting what you want is helpful in mustering the ability to get it done. And here's a little pro tip. The first thing on your to-do list is to make the to-do list. So the first thing you get to do when you make the list is what? Check a box. You're already on a roll. And I'll tell you, it makes a difference. I do it every time. And I do it old school too. I don't even do it in notes. I literally write it on a piece of paper. I'm still a paper guy. And I do it especially with gardening, like today, perfect example, okay? This morning I'm staring out. I don't have a green thumb. I screwed up and I took dirt from my garden and used it in my pots for flowers. It's clearly too dense. It's not draining the right way. I should have used potting soil. I went cheap, okay? And I don't even know why. It was like half cheap, half ignorant. And I'm looking at these flowers and they're getting burned out. I see it. And they're all supposed to be full sunflowers. And I'm kind of lamenting it, and I'm kind of just like languishing in my self-loathing that here's another thing I don't do well. And I started to make a list of, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace these two. I'm going to get two more bigger planters, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I made a list. First thing I made on the list was make the list for the garden. I did it, read the list, and all of a sudden I was like, all right, let me go do it. Let me at least throw out a couple of these dead ones. And what I did was, in my old age, I'm getting soft and I don't like killing anything anymore. I used to have no problem with that as long as it wasn't a human being and others were around to see. But even these plants, I didn't want to just quit on them. So I just moved them off to the side. And I did have a couple of them were just too far gone. So I actually took those and they're done. They went in the compost pile. But the plan was initiated and I started making the steps. And I did things that I wouldn't have done otherwise because I had made the list. And it was giving me an orientation. It was giving me motivation. It was giving me a plan. A friend of mine loves the expression. You know what failing to plan is, right? Planning to fail. The point is, either have a plan or you're almost fucked ab initio. So make the plan. Make the list. And the number one thing on a list, no matter what it is about, making the list. Check that box. Give yourself some momentum. Hey, if you're in need, you gotta try Indeed. Attract, interview, hire, all in one place. This ain't random. 3 million businesses worldwide use it. And you can get a $75 sponsored job credit right now. Upgrade your job post. Indeed.com/Chris C. It's a limited time offer, so do it. Claim your $75 credit at Indeed.com/Chris C. And, because you're going to say you heard about it on the podcast, and that's the Chris C part after the Indeed.com/ and why? Because you get to attract, hire, interview all in one place. It's the best way to aggregate, be time efficient, and you're running a small business. You have no time to waste. Time is money. Hiring is hard. This helps. In need? Indeed. Our next partner is AG1. Why? Daily foundational nutrition supplement, whole body health. I drink it every day. I give it a try because it's easy. A scoop and we're done. I drink it because it's got everything that I need. I don't have to do the combinations or the mixes. I don't got to take it throughout the day, some with food, some without. I get up, I take the scoop, I'm one and done. No shame in my poop game. It helps with digestion, makes me feel like I'm ready for the day, gives me the energy for the grind, right? I heard about AG1 because people around who I respect in terms of their performance were taking it. And it's just more efficient because they've done the science work for you. It replaces the multivitamin and then the probiotic and all the different supplements because it's got the adaptogens and all the other things in it. One simple, drinkable habit. So, you want to take ownership of your health? It starts with AG1. You can try it and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs. Very helpful because you can't take the big bag. All with your first purchase. You go to drinkag1.com/CCP. That's a lot. Here it is again. Go to drinkag1.com/CCP. Check it out. Next, start small. My brother likes to do the big hard jobs first, okay? So if he has fold the laundry and change the brakes, he's changing the brakes. He wants to get the hard stuff out of the way first. Okay. My experience has taught me otherwise, at least for me personally. Why? The big jobs tend to be complex and have a much better chance of not getting completely done the way you want, at least in the first thrust of effort. So I factor that in and I do the reverse. I do the small things first. Maybe you could call them the easy things, but maybe not. Cleaning, anything that involves cleaning, I'll do first because you can get that shit done and you can get it done right. And there's a satisfaction in that, especially for me. Whenever I'm stressed and I'm upset about things, I start cleaning, reorganizing, doing, the garage, the dishes, whatever. Start small, okay? Don't hit snooze. Get out of bed. Make your bed, okay? Do your morning routine. Do what you have to do, small. Feed that dog, walk that dog, deal with the cat, whatever it is. Start small. Small things lead to big things. And thoughts become things, as Kai Green likes to say. And he's right. The way you think really does help you in manifesting it. It's not magical thinking, but it is the magic of thinking, which is if you think, I'm going to do this, I want this to happen, I want to be this. I think energetically, I think just in terms of self-fulfillment, you have a better chance of that happening. I mean, does anybody doubt that? Have you ever played sports at all? I'm going to strike out, I'm going to strike out, I'm going to strike out. What's the chance better that you strike out or you hit a home run? All right, it's always better that you're going to strike out. But if you're telling yourself that, man, you're making it easier for it to go that way. And I'm not saying to be delusional. And you know how I feel about Pollyanna. I am okay with being Pollyannish. I think it's going to go well. I think we're going to do well. I think this is going to be good. And maybe there's reason to think that, maybe not the reason not to think it. But you might as well err on the side of being positive about yourself, right? Hint, I suck at this, but it happens to be true. Next, progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection, especially when you're talking about bigger jobs, okay? You're going to paint your house, get some of it done. The fact that it's not all done, come on, give yourself a break. You started at zero. Progress, not perfection. A lot of people struggle with this. I know I do. Damn, I wanted to do more. I wanted to get this. I wanted to lose X pounds and I only lost Y pounds. Progress, not perfection. All the cliches apply. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? It even took God 7 days to create our world, our universe. If you're a creationist, give yourself a chance. Be kind to yourself. See the progress and see it as progress. Reward yourself for that. Feel good about it. Make a new list about what's left to do. That leads me to the last one. You got to catch yourself when you're screwing up and help yourself stop the backslide. Did you know that the number one problem with dieting is not simply quitting the diet, although there is a reason that all those plans are 30, 60, 90 days, because 3 months is a big litmus test for people. It's a big line. You know, the word diet, the irony is the word diet means every day, meaning you should be doing these things forever, not just for 30, 60, or 90 days, but that we can handle those amounts, right? The 3-month love affair, very common. Why? It's like an accessible period or some kind of socially, psychologically acceptable period of effort. But the problem with weight loss, and the reason we all yo-yo, is not simply because we quit the diet. It's because of uncontrolled backslides. What does that mean? Greg convinces me to go out for barbecue. Wow, but today was actually supposed to be a diet. I had my cheat day yesterday. I really shouldn't. But you know what? I love the guy. I don't get to see him that often. He's helping me so much here. Let's go. We'll have the barbecue. Once I'm there, I'm not going to have the salad, right? So I eat the barbecue. My ring hurts. It's so swollen. I'm so swole. Oh, why did I do this? I hate Greg. What's the chance that my next meal is a good meal? Now, this would tell you, excellent chance, because you want to offset. But behaviorally, here comes the backslide. The backslide is what? Well, this day's screwed, thanks to Greg and his spicy appetites, because now I might as well just eat whatever I want for dinner. The day's blown. You know this, right? You've been this person, right? You've lived this. So have I. Happens all the time. And then there are people around us who don't do this, who are even more maddening. Like my wife can actually have a taste of something. She can actually eat the one potato chip. She's that person. I'm not. I look at a bag as a single serving of most things. Like any container I see as a single serving. But controlling the backslide, you have to coach yourself into it. You have to really embrace those moments. That is what happens, is that I didn't work out today, so I might as well eat badly on top of it. Those behaviors are what you need to address. And it's more important to shorten a backslide than it is to be consistent on the positive side. Again, it is more important to your overall results when it comes to weight loss or really any kind of progress to control backslides, meaning to control the periods of where you're going off course, than it is to even rack good time on course. Well, how? The on course is what, no. Because making progress is positive. You're already in that motion. The backsliding is what kills you and defeats your sense of initiative and your dream and your goal. And the self-loathing and the negative reinforcement of behavior and the psychology of it will have you double and triple and quadruple and whatever the next word is on bad choices because you're already there anyway. And you didn't deserve to be thin or strong or fit or smart or competent, whatever it is that your goal structure is in that moment, in that endeavor. Catch yourself. All right, so I had a shit meal. My next meal is going to be good, or I'm not going to eat the rest of the day. That is big. All right, I didn't work out today. Okay, I'm going tomorrow. I'm taking a walk tonight. That's big. That's more important than, I'm going to make it 5 for 5 days in the gym. Accumulated positive is not as important as shortening the backslide. And that's what you got to do. Never hit snooze. Make your bed. Make lists. And the number one thing on the list is to have made the list. Start small. Thoughts become things. Small things become big things. Progress, not perfection. And wrapped in that, catch yourself on the backslide. Catch yourself on the backslide. Reduce the periods. And then you know what you'll have? You'll have that great surprise where you step on the scale after a couple of days of not being exactly how you wanted to be, but you kind of fought it all the way through. And it turns out that you've only gained 2 pounds, not 5. And you're like, I wonder why. You know why. You controlled the backslide and you'll be better for it. All right. I know these things work. I know they're easy to say and hard to do. But look, everything that matters in life that's worthwhile is hard. You got to choose your hard. It's hard to be out of shape. It's hard to be in shape. It's hard to be financially successful. It's hard to be financially in distress. It's hard to be kind. It's hard to live with being unkind. So choose your hard. okay? And I hope these tips help you in organizing yourself, motivating yourself, and propelling yourself down the road of better on whatever avenue you choose. I'm doing it as well, and man, am I flawed and struggling. But I know that these mechanisms work if you take them seriously and you apply them consistently. And when you don't apply them consistently, what do? Do-do-do-do-do. Catch yourself. Control the backslide. All right, thank you so much for joining me here on the couch. I hope it's helpful to you. I hope it gets you going in a direction that you want to be. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to help you, because it reinforces my desire to do the same things that I'm telling you about. Thank you for subscribing, following, watching me on News Nation, 8p, 11p every weekday night. Please check out the free agent gear. It's selling. I want to sell more of it, and we're going to have new stuff up there. Rose is in charge now. So you be well, question and comment. Take care of yourself and take care of the people that you care about. I'll see you next time. Let's get after it.